Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of College Hockey Talk. On today's podcast, I am joined by Minnesota Duluth freshman Clara Van Wieren. Clara, welcome to the podcast, and how's everything going?
It's good. Thanks so much for having me.
No problem. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. Now, my first question to you is, what have you overall taken away from your first year in college hockey so far?
Well, it's not over yet, but so far I've taken away that WCHA is a super fast pace and it's hard to adjust to. So just taking away the new adjustments that I've had to make and carrying those into the rest of the season.
Yeah, you've had to play some very tough opponents, including the second-ranked team in the country, Minnesota. What was it like playing them, and what did you learn about yourself in those two games, especially against some of the best players in the world?
It was definitely an adjustment. I'd say it doesn't really matter who we're playing against, though. Honestly, the real opponent is always ourselves. So if we play as well as I know we can play, every team is going to be pretty similar.
Yeah, and you've had a good start to your year so far. You're currently 4-2 to start off the year. What are some of the positive things you've taken away from this season so far?
I just say learning to play with such great players consistently. And yeah, just learning to play as a team together. I think we're really starting to get a hang of it. So I'm excited.
Yeah, what's it been like to play this season without any fans, and has that been an adjustment for yourself?
No, not really. Honestly, coming in as a freshman, like I've talked to a lot of the seniors and the upperclassmen, and they say for them it's been more of an adjustment, but not coming from playing in front of many fans before, it really hasn't been too difficult.
Yeah, I know, but how do you try to, I guess, add some of that crowd energy on the ice without any of the crowd noise? Do you do anything on the bench to get the players going, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, we're always cheering each other on, and we have cutouts in the stands. So I guess those are kind of fun to look at. But yeah, really just generating more energy from the bench has been really helpful.
Yeah, and another thing that many college hockey players have had to adjust to this year is the schedule changes throughout the season. How have you mentally stayed prepared for all those changes in your schedule, and what's it been like so far?
Yeah, I mean, we're really just taking it day of, just doing what we can during the day and just knowing that everything is subject to change. So one thing that we've really been focusing on as a team is gratitude and just being thankful for what we have right now, whether it's practice with a small group, practice with the whole team, or a game series on the weekend, just being grateful for what we're given.
Definitely. Now, another thing that's been introduced to college hockey this year is 3-on-3 overtime. I know you haven't played in one yet, but what would that be like as an offensive player, gaining more space on the ice and having more chances to score?
I love 3v3. We've scrimmaged 3v3 as a team a lot so far, and it's always just really fun playing kind of a different pace in a different way. And yeah, I'm excited to maybe get to play to it. Hopefully not, but if it does happen, we're ready for it and excited.
Yeah, definitely. As a fan, it's so much fun to watch just because you've seen it in the NHL before, and it's just cool to see some of the top players in the world get that much chance on the ice and space
Yeah,
on the ice and get those chances. And I'm excited to see what it looks like for college hockey in the next few years.
for sure.
Now, how has your freshman class looked like so far in your eyes, and how have they adapted to the new team, especially since you and the rest of your class will be a key part of your team moving forward for the next 3 years?
Yeah, really well, I think. All the upperclassmen have been super welcoming, just kind of showing us what NCAA hockey and UMD hockey is all about. So I think that we've all adjusted well. Um, yeah, really, me and Nina Jupp Smith, my roommate, we're on the same power play. So that's been fun, just kind of working with her a lot as freshmen together.
Yeah, and how have the upperclassmen helped your transition into college hockey, especially players like Gabby Hughes and Ashton Bell, who are obviously big leaders on your team?
Yeah, they've been great. Ashton is an amazing captain. And Gabby, from the forward standpoint, has really set the pace and shown the forwards what NCAA hockey is, and especially with the first line generating a lot of our points, just helped us get that momentum in every one of our games.
Yeah, and have you learned any thing about leadership watching those players, and do you think that their leadership that they're presenting to you now will help you when you're a leader, when you're a junior or senior in the next few years?
Yeah, for sure. Ashton has honestly been one of the best captains that I've ever had, along with the other two captains, Anna Klein and Mackenzie Revering. They're an amazing leadership group, and I think that it really just helps the entire team, even the next leaders coming up, just keeping that culture consistent for UMD teams in the future.
Now, what has been the biggest improvement you've made to your game since your last year with Shattuck?
Honestly, just a new pace, just trying to make faster plays, getting my head up. That would be the biggest difference.
Yeah, and what has been the biggest adjustment you've had to make to college hockey? Has it been the mental side of the game, making quicker decisions with the puck, or has it been more just the physicality, playing against players that are 3 to 4 years older than you are?
Honestly, as one of the biggest girls on the team, that hasn't been the hardest part. It's been more just making quick plays, getting my head up.
Now, speaking to other players from Shattuck St. Mary's, they say how balancing academics and hockey is a little bit easy for them when they get to college because you have that experience when you go to that school. Has that been an adjustment for you trying to balance academics and hockey, and what's your secret to that?
Honestly, it hasn't been too difficult at all. For the first semester, at least, we started practice early in the morning around 8. So getting that out of the day super early, the rest of the day is just for school. So really just time management, and I was able to learn that well through Shattuck.
Yeah, what's it like to play under Coach Crow, and how has she helped your hockey development so far? Because I know she was your coach for the under 18 series that you had a few summers ago.
Yeah, Coach Kroll is great. She is really the perfect balance between your friend and your supporter and someone who's there to push you and your coach. And she's been awesome, and just throughout my entire development since freshman year of high school, just being with me every step of the way.
Now, I want to start off talking about the beginning of your hockey career. You're from Michigan. How did you start playing hockey, and how did you start falling in love with the sport?
My dad played in college, so kind of following in his footsteps, we would always play pond hockey. And that's how I started, just getting out there with my siblings and playing a lot.
Yeah, and did you have a favorite player growing up that you try to model your game after today?
Honestly, not really, no. I like different aspects from so many different players' games. Hillary Knight would be one of them. I love her physicality. Datsuk, I don't have obviously his hands, but he was an amazing player for the Red Wings, which was my favorite team growing up.
Yeah, Datsuk probably. I don't think anyone's ever topped some of his breakaway moves he's had in a long time.
Yeah.
It was just it's. I always go on YouTube and watch some of his clips just because they're amazing to watch.
Yeah, he's insane.
Now, before Minnesota Duluth, you played for Shattuck St. Mary's, like I was just mentioning. How did you get the opportunity to play at that school?
Senior year, my sister left for college, so I played my whole life with my sister. And I was kind of just looking for a change, something that would push me a little bit. And I knew a few of the girls on the team already just through playing for the national team. So I reached out to the coach, and they happened to have a spot.
Yeah, what's it like to be a part of that historic program with so many legendary hockey players that went there before you did, like Brianna Decker and the Lamoureux twins?
It's amazing, honestly. It's so cool, just like in the locker room, seeing their pictures up, like something that you don't take for granted. And you know that if these amazing players can become that great with these opportunities, like it's really inspiring.
Yeah, how do you try to handle that pressure with obviously Shattuck, other amazing hockey players went there, not just from the women's side, but from the men's side as well. And is there any pressure you feel going to that school and trying to perform up to that capability? Does that help you a little bit at all as a hockey player?
Honestly, I don't think there's any pressure with it, just an experience that I have under my belt. So not so much pressure, just an amazing opportunity that I was able to have that really just made me better.
Now, how did your time at Shattuck help prepare you for college hockey?
Getting to play with amazing players like McKenna Webster, Lacey Eden, and Casey O'Brien, just awesome. Just playing with them on the power play, penalty kill, all over the ice. They really helped my game elevate, not just like supporting on like sorry just forcing me to support other players and depend more on other players and read off them more was super helpful. And Coach Stafford also really helped me do that, just creating that aspect of my game.
Yeah, and I want to talk to you a little bit more about playing with those players like you just mentioned. How does that help your hockey development? Because they obviously are such amazing players. Does that help develop you into a better goal scorer, or a better passer, or something like that?
Yeah, for sure. Not even talking about playing with them in games, just off ice, just seeing what they do, having them off the ice to push me, whether it's in the shooting lanes, workout room, just always being around such high caliber players is awesome and really helpful.
Now, what was your favorite memory at Shattuck that you had?
Oh, that's a hard one. It was always super fun playing Mission. We had great games, great competition against them. So yeah, I'd probably say that.
Now, I know you graduated this summer, or last summer, I should say. Did you get to have an in-person graduation, or was that all canceled like many of the senior activities that were canceled for most seniors last summer as well?
Yeah, it was canceled.
So did you have like a socially distanced graduation, or was it more like a video type of thing?
We did have a video for Shattuck. We were lucky enough, a few of the players, the seniors on my team got together during that and kind of celebrated together. And then I also had a grad party just with my close family, which was really special.
That's awesome. I'm glad you got the opportunity to at least celebrate that accomplishment, because I know some people didn't get the opportunity. So that's awesome to hear. Now, you got to represent your country in the under 18 championships. What is the process for getting selected, and how did you find out you're going to be part of that team?
Um, Process was many camps leading up to it, ever since I was young, maybe 14, 15. And I found out just through a call, which is obviously like one of the biggest moments of your life, just getting that call, knowing that you're going to be representing your country.
Yeah, where were you when you got that call?
Different places for both calls. For the first one, I was on my way to hockey. Second one, also on my way to hockey, but at Shattuck.
Yeah. Now, what's it like getting to represent your country on the national stage? And obviously, the World Juniors just happened last night. Did that bring back any memories, winning the gold with the Team USA?
It did for sure. It's always amazing to see a United States team on the blue line, just listening to the national anthem, singing along, and that brought back so many great memories. I feel like everyone says the same thing when they answer this question, but it was honestly unreal, best experience of my life, especially last year in Slovakia when we took home gold.
Yeah, was there any culture shock you faced going to Slovakia for the first time?
Honestly, not as much as Japan. Japan was kind of difficult just with the food that we ate, but Slovakia, after Japan, it was easier to adjust. And then also their food was a lot more similar to our food here. So it wasn't as bad.
And looking up about that team that you were on for that under 18 championships, your UMD teammate, Katie Davis, was a part of that team as well. What was it like to play with her in that tournament, knowing that she was going to be your college teammate in the next few years?
It was awesome. It was a great bonding experience for us. And just being with Coach Kroll and Nick Bryant, the equipment manager, it was great getting to play with her and kind of just getting to know her on a deeper level.
Now, what emotions were you feeling after you won the gold medal in Slovakia, and where do you keep the gold medal now?
Oh, my dad made me a plaque with my jerseys from the past 2 years, gold and silver. The gold one is up front, the silver one's in back. But I keep that in my dad's office. And then for, I'm sorry, what was your other question? What were the emotions?
Yeah, just like what were the emotions you were feeling after you won that gold medal? Because obviously you're probably just super, like, I guess, high on life at that moment, winning the gold medal, getting to represent your country, and beating one of the best teams in the world in Canada.
Yeah, honestly, just a little bit of relief and pure happiness. Just after losing in Japan the first year, everyone has that in the back of their mind. So when we went into that game, we were trying not to think of it. And then as it goes in to the overtime, it's just relief after we score that goal finally after putting everything we got into it.
Now, transitioning from that tournament to your recruiting process, what was that like for yourself, and why did you want to go to Minnesota Duluth?
The recruiting process for me was a little different. I started it really early because my sister is 2 years older, and we originally thought that we wanted to go to the same school. So, yeah, we went on a lot of visits together, and eventually I chose Duluth. I when I was younger, I went to camps here, so it's always kind of been my dream to come here after seeing all the great players, all the players coaching me on the ice that went here. They have a great history, and I fell in love with the campus, and the coaching staff is amazing.
That's awesome. Now we're in the non-hockey segment of the podcast where I ask you some non-hockey questions. And my first question is, besides hockey, what other sports do you like to watch?
Ooh, watch. I really like tennis on TikTok. They have some great tennis reels, and I also just love watching Serena Williams.
I never really watched that much tennis, but I've seen like clips of Rafael Nadal, I think his name is, who's like
Mhm.
one of the top tennis players of all time. So that's definitely something I have to get into. But with the NHL coming back and college hockey currently playing, that's mostly what I watch. It's hard to not watch hockey, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, what is your favorite TV show you like to binge?
I'd say Friends on Netflix. It's kind of a basic answer, but I love Friends.
Nice. Now, who do you think from that show would be the best hockey player in your opinion? I would probably go with Joey.
I think Joey is kind of the obvious answer because he's a guy, but I think Phoebe, she's very tenacious.
I could
She's
see
big
that.
too.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Now, speaking of TV shows, who's your favorite actor or actress?
Oh, I don't really have one. I don't know. Maybe Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, she's really good, but I would probably choose Zac Efron just because he's a good singer, he's a good actor, and he's also a good person, and he likes baseball as well, like myself. So I feel like that would be. I like an actor that could do it all, and he could
Okay,
definitely do it all.
I like that. Actually, I'm gonna change my answer. I'm gonna say Ben Stiller because I loved him in Zoolander.
Oh, that's a funny movie. Oh, him and Owen Wilson cracked me up in that, in my opinion.
Mhm. Yeah,
Now, speaking of your teammates, who's the funniest on the team?
funniest on the team. I'd say Mackenzie Reverie. She always cracks me up.
Now, besides yourself, who has the best style on the team?
Kaylee Skinner. She's always got the best style on ice and off ice.
Now, what music do you like to listen to on a general basis, and which arena has had the best warm-up mix in your opinion?
Obviously, our arena has had the best warm up mix. A girl who played on the team last year made it, and it's awesome. And I like to listen to a lot of different kinds of music. I like country music, rap music, really just anything.
Do you have like a go-to artist or anyone like that? I know Morgan Wallen and Thomas Rhett are obviously very popular country artists, but other than them, I really don't know anyone else besides those two guys.
Keith Urban. I love Keith Urban. Do you
Nice.
know him?
I think I do. I think he's married to Nicole Kidman. I think I saw something on a news story one time, but that's
Yeah. You don't know any of his music though?
no. So I guess I gotta listen to it,
Yeah, you
but
gotta get on that.
I will definitely right after this podcast. I'll listen to some.
Okay.
Back to some hockey questions now. My first one is you obviously been in women's hockey for your entire life. What do you think should be done to help grow women's hockey? Because I know the NWHL is now broadcasting some of their games on NBC, and obviously the PWHPA has done an amazing job trying to grow women's hockey. Is there anything in particular you think needs to be done to help grow the sport?
I think just encouraging younger girls to do it more and kind of taking away the thought that hockey isn't a girl sport. Yeah, just not only encouraging like the little brothers to do it, but also their sisters and getting everyone involved.
Nice. Now, what advice would you give a younger player trying to make D1 college hockey?
Honestly, just find your game and stick to that and do that as well as you can. Also, kind of a basic answer, but just work as hard as you possibly can. Just outwork all of your competition.
Now, what should I do better as an interviewer to improve this podcast?
Well, this is my first podcast, so I don't really know. Geez, maybe give me the questions beforehand so I can prepare a little better.
Oh, I apologize for that. I normally don't do that, so I'll next time we have you on, I'll make sure to send them to your way.
No, that's fine. You kept me on my toes. I liked it.
All right. Now, is there any shout outs you'd like to give to any of your teammates, teammates with Shattuck or family members you have?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my mom and dad. Obviously, they've helped me so much. My sister and my brother are also amazing, and my roommate, Nina Job Smith, is great.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, Clara, and talking about some of your athletic achievements. I really appreciate it. I wish you all the best for the rest of your season, and take care and stay safe.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem.